At some point, you're not going to want a government-controlled currency because it does what this happens. You get a boom and then you get a bust, and then the Fed has to adjust. And the boom and bust is all determined by some political candidate who happened to win. Mm-hmm. And then they just say, okay, we're going to spend a bunch of money. Mm-hmm. And then you get a boom, and then all of a sudden you get a huge bust because the Fed has to say, wait, we're going into inflationary times. We got to raise interest rates. And so all of a sudden you've got a bust.
Hello and welcome to Crypto IQ. In today's video, venture capitalist investor Tim Draper gives his thoughts on why Bitcoin will be the new standard for the current monetary system.
So all of a sudden you've got a bust. Mm-hmm. There's something healthy about a boom and a bust, but I think you'll get that anyway. People will, be excited about something and then less excited and then excited again. I'll give you a kind of interesting example. Almost every technology goes through what I call the IS curve. I even branded it the Draper IS curve. Every industry kind of comes up and then gets hyped to the max. And then that's sort of the dot on the I. It's a cursive I. Mm-hmm. And then it drops down and they say, oh, God, well, this, I can't buy anything with my mm-hmm. credit card and I can't do all these things that the internet has promised. I can't do anything with it. And so for years it sits there languishing. But while it's languishing, all these great engineers are working really hard and they're coming up with a great way for us to experience this internet thing. And then it starts slowly creeping up like an S, and then it explodes for years. And then it flattens out as new technologies come along and go through their same IS curve. Mm-hmm. So
almost like a false start in the beginning.
That's exactly right. So I think the same things happened with Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. You've had the big hype I, and by the way, the S is much higher than the I. I mean, you think about, the top of the I had Amazon valued at maybe, I don't know, $100 million. Mm-hmm. And now it's worth a couple trillion.
Yeah, 2 trillion, something like that,
Yeah. So that's 1,000 times higher than the I was the S. Mm-hmm. And so people don't even realize how creative other people are. Mm-hmm. And they don't realize how big something like this can become. Mm-hmm. So the internet transformed communications, information, gaming, entertainment, media, taxis, hotels. And those are all pretty big industries. They're big, they have a big influence and all that. But Bitcoin has the potential, Bitcoin with the blockchain, the smart contracts, the eventually DAOs, have the potential to transform the biggest industries in the world. That's all of commerce, finance. It doesn't just stop with currency. You're going to see major changes in real estate as companies like Proppy all of a sudden are the place you go for your title. Mm-hmm. So you probably wouldn't need title insurance anymore. Mm-hmm. Insurance is going to go through major changes. Mm-hmm. And what is government but a lot of insurance policies? And so I think government's going to go through major transformation. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'd say 80% of government is probably insurance. It's your healthcare insurance, your workman's comp, your welfare, your unemployment insurance, the pension, Social Security, all that stuff. That probably does make up about 80%. And so all of that with the Bitcoin economy could be virtual. Mm. And various governments could compete for your service to provide better service for you. And so I've seen a few governments that are being built up in space or 11 miles offshore or in free trade zones or whatever. And in fact, I'm a citizen of one of them.
Which one?
Oh God, I wish I remembered. He's going to be mad. The guy who created Aragon has also now created a new government, Luis Cuende. And anyway, he made me the 187th member of the government. It is playing out, and I would argue that we were all pretty much at peace while the internet was booming, because that was all about communications and being better, doing business with each other and building a supply chain throughout the world, and everybody was benefiting from that. And that was unprecedented at how much more productive people were during that time, and how many people got brought out of poverty during that time. And then Bitcoin came along, and the great countries, the great leaders are the ones who have embraced Bitcoin. The weak leaders are the ones who are saying, no, we've got to control things. And all of a sudden, they use that as an excuse or whatever to show their true colors, which is, I need to control everybody. When you have a control-based government, they go to war, because it's a single person, it's a weak person, it's somebody who gets everybody to do exactly what they want them to do, and those people also want the rest of the world to do what they want to do, and so they'll attack if they're not doing what they want to do. So I'd argue it's already happening. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more wars happening, and then when all the wars are done, hopefully most of us will survive, or vast majority will survive. That'll be the time when we all kind of hold hands. The borders start to drop. The businesses start doing work across borders again. The supply chain reopens up around the world. We don't have to say us against them, and we're all better off. Now, again, I say that we. The good leaders are pushing, they're trusting people and setting them free. And the bad leaders are trying to control things and regulate and tax and whatever else. Now, I understand taxing because it aligns interests. And I think that the U.S. government should understand that they've just wasted a ton of money on 80,000 IRS agents, where if they became a Bitcoin economy, everybody'd be paying their taxes automatically.
So do you agree with Tim that Bitcoin will replace fiat in the near future? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.